Hi, it's Kris and Elizabeth. Welcome back to the Global Summit. We're so honored that you're here with us, spending time with us, listening to our world-class speakers, listening to us, and just being here with us. It just means the world to us. We've been talking about our sort of topic of the day, and today's topic is wellness. And so we have a slide here about wellness, and we're just going to share some of our thoughts around wellness.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking as you're talking like wellness. Well, I just lost 20 pounds and I was not feeling so well. And so, I think about wellness and lifelong wellness and activity and peace and whole being, comprehensive wellness, all things that are up there. I feel so much better right now just having taken 20 pounds off my body. Not about me, but just an example of a little bit of spring to your step.
Yeah, I think it's a good example right now. It's very timely because one of the things that we've all, as a collective, gone through is a huge interruption, a huge pivot in our direction. So things that we would have normally done for certainly our fitness, certainly the ability to go to places and do, team sports and even classes where you would have had 50 people doing Zumba or whatever it is, really altered. And I think a lot of folks have reached out to us and they're like, I put on this 20, 25, maybe 30 pounds during the year of COVID. And I want to stop it. But my lifestyle changed so quickly, so dramatically that a lot of folks we've talked to or who have talked to us said, it felt like it just sort of creeped on. And now,
in my confession, it was on before and it stayed on. I didn't gain any more weight. I just kind of finally decided to take the weight off. I didn't gain any weight in 2020. It just kind of was always there and annoying. So I just decided I heard Todd Stottlemyre say, you got to be all in. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I haven't been, and I need to be, and I changed. So yeah, that's what I did.
That's commendable. And that is awesome. And that is what we want to be about, is that change is possible. And the great thing is that you may have to access change multiple times, and one of the things we want to encourage and inspire you to do is to always continue to strive. So even if you had, I don't know, 6 donuts for breakfast, that's okay. That's done. But don't have 6 donuts for lunch. You can restart right now. You don't have to be like, oh, I better start till March 1st. I better start till Monday or whatever. So, and the goal, of course, is not just to be healthy for that week or just to be healthy. That's why, New Year's resolutions always seem to fall flat because everybody's like, yay, January. But what's the end goal for February? And it shouldn't be February. Really, the word up there that we have, lifelong, is we want people to really look at their lifelong wellness journey and think, why do I want this? Why do I want my health and wellness?
Yeah. And while this might, wellness and lifelong wellness and so forth, might feel like we're topic specific, we really are kind of that comprehensive well-being, the total person, the whole being, in the mindset, in the health, in the this, in the that, and so forth, in different categories of your life. But I think, Kris, do you think for this slide, this should just be about specifically, your health and
yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing too. When we were looking at the topic of wellness, there are so many buckets, and there's like these appropriate buckets, as well as the physical, as well as the mental. Like wellness is just such a huge word, and lots of our speakers have touched on it, and some of our speakers to come are going to touch on it. And what I love too about the movement that we are certainly a part of is that people are realizing how connected you must be within yourself, mind, body, spirit, heart, brain, like all of the pieces and parts of you. So that whole being is so important. And I think what we've learned as a society and certainly as coaches over the years is that often the physical and the weight loss, often there's something blocking either up here or in here that makes it seem harder, right? So you need to do all of that work together to succeed. And I think the other thing,
you said it earlier, get in the weeds. And, wellness or well-being, those are 2 different words. So think about what you mean by that. Those are definitely 2 different words. Wellness can really mean health. Well-being can mean health too, but well-being can be a little bit more comprehensive. So I really invite people to kind of adjust our wording or, make it fit for you and make sure that you are happy, because the peace part of this is so lovely when you get to that point where you don't have that chatter in your head and the negative self-talk, and you're out there kind of percolating peace out into the world. That is an exciting moment when you have at least one thing that you feel peaceful
It is,
about.
honestly. And we've all had those moments where you do something great or good and you're like, oh, I feel great. I ate my vegetables. I feel amazing. I did the whatever your commitment to yourself is, 30-minute walk or whatever. You know, it's funny. You were just talking about the perspective and the word and stuff too. I was just recently coaching a woman, asking her, I said, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put your wellness? She said 10. I said, oh, that's amazing. I said, tell me why you give yourself a 10. And she said, I don't have a cold.
Yeah,
That was it. And I said, okay, so that's one sliver of wellness. I said, let's talk about your nutrition. She's like, oh, no, that's a 2. And then we talked about other things, but it was so funny because right away she was like 10 and I was like, good for you. Tell me why. And it was just interesting, that perspective and that perception. And like you were saying, wellness versus, and yeah, well-being.
Words there. And we were really careful in our health journal to choose well-being to give that comprehensive overtone to it and so forth. But, you know, like for me, just a little tiny thing. I've been wanting to wear this shirt for a year and a half. My mom gave this to my birthday, I think in like to me for my birthday in like 2019. And I put it on. I'm like, it just doesn't fit right. It fits. Yay. Little things like that. You know, I've had this shirt folded up nicely for a moment when it fit, and it was kind of like a goal of mine. So it's kind of fun to wear it here and have a big goal that we're achieving. And I know you are achieving goals over there too, with your morning wake up routine and your water you're drinking and your green smoothies. Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah. So same thing. So for me, I could see my own well-being and health definitely took a back burner in 2020. And for me, it wasn't exactly COVID. It was a lot more to do with the caretaking role that I had with Ben. And one of the traps that I got into as a people pleaser, he had colon cancer, my husband, and it was difficult for him to eat and find food that would taste nice or react to his body nice. And we were sort of at that place where it was like, whatever he can eat, let's just get him some calories to help with the chemo. So I would make it, he would say he was hungry at 9 p.m. and I'd make something, make even a whole meal. And by 9:20, when it was ready, he's like, oh, I'm not hungry anymore. Once he realized that, then he stopped asking for food. And I would be like, okay, I'm going to make this for you. And he's like, no. I'm like, oh no, I'm making it for me. Why would I say that? Who makes a meal for themselves at 11:30 p.m. at night? And I would eat it so that he wouldn't feel bad that I made food. Like, it was such a crazy time. And I was really trying to put him at ease. I know. But with that, all of a sudden now I'm eating like double, triple what I was supposed to be doing. And my rest, because every time I heard, it reminded me talking to people who are like new moms, right? And they're like, every noise, you're like on high alert because you're like, is it the baby? Is it the baby? And I don't have children, but I did feel like that with Ben. Like every noise, the cat came in and I was like, is that Ben? Does he need me? And so my rest and my, like, long story short, I wasn't taking care of myself. And so now,
that's a really good point. And I think that'll resonate with a lot of people who are in caregiver mode, listening to this, or who don't feel so well all the time, who are living with a condition, anything. So I'm really thankful. Thank you for telling us that, because I think that'll be helpful. As a sweater story. Some people might resonate with my sweater story too, though. I don't know.
The thing that we also don't talk about too is we talk about not comparing, right? We don't want to have a platform where we go, if you've been sick, I've been sicker. If you've been poor, I've been poorer. Like, everyone has their own journey, and if your journey is this size box and somebody else's is this size box, or a square or a circle or whatever, really, it's so individual. And so we really want you to focus on you and not compare. And it can be hard, but that is something that we champion. So with that, now the whole story was back to me in 2021. I feel like I've gone through so much of the initial like roller coaster, like train crash wreck of that crazy grief, where I finally feel like I'm kind of getting back to myself. And so with that, I am now putting an intentional focus on my well-being and wellness together. And so, I am having green smoothies. Thank you for the recipe, Elizabeth. Oh my goodness, you guys have to try it. Honestly, I'm telling them, it's pear, spinach, and cucumber. That's it, in your little bullet blender with ice and a little bit of water to what consistency you like. I was like, that sounds a little too boring for me. I don't know. You guys, it is an absolute stunning smoothie. I have told 3 times. I went to my sister's house and I said, I have groceries. She said, well, I don't need groceries. I said, I brought pear, spinach, and cucumber. I'm making you this smoothie. I didn't know if you would have those items, but if you do, great. If you don't. So she was laughing, and we made this smoothie, and she was like, oh, that is really good. She's like, that pear is nice. I said, you can switch it for apple. Apple is also a really good, but I love pear. But anyways, that's a sidebar.
I put banana in his so he would drink it. And he put it down. That's the worst thing. I'm going back to my oatmeal or whatever. So, it's not popular with everyone, but which I don't understand. I can't see that, but just kidding.
Yes, personal taste comes into it. So anyways, long story short, we are looking at that longevity, that long life. We want you to, if you're not drinking green smoothies or whatever it is, to do those bite-sized pieces. And if you are someone who is world-class, who is high performance, who is maybe a professional athlete or something at the top of their game as well, we'd love to hear your tips and things that keep you going and keep you operating that high, because we also work with folks at those higher levels. It's not everybody at, it's just all levels, really.
Yeah, you don't have to be a pro athlete to think about your nutrition and wellness and so forth. And the other thing you don't have to be is a former athlete or ever have played a sport. A lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to do this. I didn't play sports. Okay, that's okay. I love what Todd said. Just walk 30 minutes a day.
And you know what I love? I've been looking at the word athlete, and I've seen some friends of mine and people of mine on Facebook saying, you know what I am? I'm a fitness athlete, because they're fitness centered and they're really working. And I was like, you know what? Why can't we all use the word athlete? Like, if you're taking a walk, what's the opposite of athlete? I don't know, maybe sedentary. And so if you are out doing something, give yourself the athlete hat and be like, I am doing something athletic. I am an athlete. Like, wrap your brain around that, because I think there's room for it. Amateur athlete, professional athlete. So you're an amateur walker. Good for you.
Walk with I love little challenges and little bite-sized challenges, like a 28-day or a 6-week thing or whatever. So I've been known, I will fess up, to buy a new outfit, a fitness outfit, and then go out my door and start jogging. And I'll jog by the houses that can see me and walk by the ones that don't. And I call it wogging. And
that's interval training. What you're doing is interval training. Good for you. Your amateur interval training. Good for you. I'm showing off. We'll forgive you for showing off, because
anybody who, and I'm kidding, but anybody, that whole thing is kind of made up. But it was it's a big part of Percolate. There's a chapter in there called Wogging, and that's what I call it, is like a walk jog, and it's the funniest thing ever. Where you really what it is me thinking I can run, like bolting out of the house in my new outfit, thinking I can run, and then about halfway down the street, realizing, okay, I'm tired, I'm gonna walk.
Okay, at least you're out getting the fresh air, getting the exercise, and I think that's one of the things too, right? My final advice is just keep going. Just keep going.
Keep a good sense of humor about it too. Make sure you laugh at yourself once in a while, because this isn't meant to be so serious. It's it's meant to be fun, and if you think of health and well-being with an attitude of fun and open-mindedness, you'll have much more success than, oh, this is such a bummer, because that's so low energy. A lot of people don't like to exercise. And so maybe the mindset needs to change to think about, oh, this is kind of fun, actually. Look at me, I'm walking 30 minutes. Give yourself little goals. It's kind of fun. So anyway, yeah.
That's our final thought then. Give yourself little goals, keep going, and celebrate it every step of the way. So as
we're not perfect, are we? We are not perfect.
No.
We're not the ones doing the Instagram poses on the yoga on the beach and all that. I don't think I'm going to ever do that, actually. But what I want to say before we go is, there's a lot of comparing out there to somebody's social media post that looks like they're a fitness guru and this and that, and they're meditating on the top of a mountain top on the edge and everything. Just be you, please. If that's you, great. Otherwise, just do a good you. Do your best. Yeah. So important. Don't compare yourself and think less than of yourself because you see a social media post where somebody's like all super pro. Yeah.
If it inspires you, great, but that's true. You do you. And so thank you for chiming into our video.
Connor said that to me last night in the kitchen. I said that. He goes, "You do you, Mom." I'm like, right on, Con. All right.
This is one of those videos we've tried to say goodbye 3 times and we just keep chatting, but we love talking to each other. And so honestly, even when we're not recording behind the scenes, sometimes I had Elizabeth on my screen. This is a sidebar now. And she's like, "What are you doing? Do you need me to go?" I said, "No, I'm just working on my ceiling and I'm getting some water, but stay on the line and we'll talk." So I'm like working in my house. You're doing laundry or whatever. We're walking around with our phones still talking. So it's kind of neat.
That's what that is. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening, and be well.